In today's video, I'm going to be going through with you guys one of the key and big secrets towards making progress in the gym. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Ryan Grant. I'm 19 years old, and in the past 4 years, I've transformed myself from this to this. And I'm on a mission to help as many skinny guys as possible who struggle with weight gain to do that and obviously build muscle as efficiently as possible in the process. And now, in order to help them do this, I've got my very own free online community which helps people do just that. So if you want to check that out, it's going to be the top link in the description, but I don't want to bore you, so without further ado, let's get into the secret, or one of the big secrets to progress in the gym in today's video. Now, what I'm going to be talking about here is extremely important, and it is something that a lot of people don't consider, but it is just as important as the training itself, right? So a really big misconception that people make is that more is more, right? And what I mean by this is the more times you go to the gym throughout the week, the more progress you're going to make, or the more gym sessions you attend to during the week, the more progress you're going to make. For example, a lot of beginners think that they should go to the gym every day. They don't necessarily consider other things. They just consider the amount of the volume of the amount of gym sessions they do every week, which isn't necessarily the case if they want to be efficient, if they want to progress consistently, and obviously if they want to build muscle and not burn themselves out. All right. So it's not necessarily about how many gym sessions you do every week. It's about the quality. It's not necessarily about the quantity. You ever hear the old saying, quality over quantity? Well, this perfectly applies. The point I'm trying to get at here is you want to train a certain amount of times a week that is going to enable you to never run out of that fire, never run out of that energy, never run out of that motivation. Now, obviously, motivation, it fluctuates and we can't necessarily control it. However, if you optimize this one thing, then it's going to be very, very likely that your motivation isn't necessarily going to be at a low all the time. And the one thing that I'm talking about here that you guys are missing out on is making sure you're optimizing your recovery. Recovery, 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 the R word, okay? Recovery is super, super important, and so many people don't realize it. And I want to put it into perspective, the importance of recovery, with this example right here. So imagine, obviously we've all got phones. We all know what a phone is. Well, I hope we do, because it's in 2025, right? Obviously I know some people may not necessarily be able to access a phone, but if you're watching this, you most likely have a phone. Okay, so we all have our phones, and obviously our phone has a battery life, right? And the battery life spans anywhere from 0 to 100%, right? And so imagine we start our day off at 100%, right? And then we use it for X amount of hours, and all of a sudden your battery is down to 5%. So when your battery is at 5%, it is low on energy and it's about to die, right? If you let it charge for 3 hours, then your phone is going to be able to recover. It's going to be able to rest without use. Therefore, it's going to get back up to a higher energy level, aka you're going to have a higher battery. So if you let your phone charge for 3 hours from 5%, you're likely to get your phone up to, I don't know, you might even get the full battery back, right? However, if you don't let the phone charge for long enough, right? So if your phone's on 5%, you put it down to charge, but then you see a notification from a friend, and then you get distracted, and then you unplug your phone because you want to use it again. You haven't given it enough time to charge. Therefore, your phone hasn't necessarily recovered the energy it had before, and it may be stuck on 20% again because you didn't let it charge for long enough before. And because it's at a lower battery, the likelihood of it, well, it's going to die a lot quicker, right? And you're going to have less energy to live off. And this applies to the gym, right? If you don't give yourself enough time to rest, then you're not going to restore your energy. You're not going to be able to let your muscles recover. You're not going to be able to give your body enough time to carry out the processes it needs to carry out. And I'm not going to go into the processes because I don't necessarily want to overcomplicate things, because we want to keep things simple. But just overall, you're not going to give yourself enough time. Therefore, your body's not going to be able to recover the energy, allow the muscles to recover, so they're still going to be weak. Therefore, going into the next session, you're going to have less energy. Therefore, your performance is going to be down. You're going to be at an increased risk of injury because your muscles are still weak and vulnerable and sore because you haven't let them recover properly. And this is overall going to lead to you burning out and hindering your muscle growth. Okay, so recovery is super super important, and I really hope that that example with the phone battery really puts things into perspective. If you let your phone charge for a long time, then you're gonna, or enough time, then you're gonna be able to restore maximum energy, aka you're gonna get your phone back to 100%. However, if you only leave your phone for 10 minutes and then you unplug it again, you're only gonna get to 20%. You're gonna be operating on a low energy, therefore, in terms of gym, your performance isn't necessarily going to be there. Therefore, you're going to be hindering your progress because you're not going to have consistent, good sessions. Okay? You may be going to the gym, but are your sessions good? That is the question. And if your sessions aren't necessarily good, the likelihood of you not recovering properly is the problem that you need to identify. And now we're going to turn that into a solution, because once you prioritize recovery and once you optimize recovery, things get so much better for you. And I'm not just talking about physically, I'm talking about mentally as well. And I'll be brutally honest, I'll hold my hands up. Around 7, 8 months ago, there was a period where I was going to the gym 5 times a week. Now, personally, at that time, that was way too much for me. I was going to the gym way too many times a week, despite the fact that I was having good sessions. Like, my sessions were really good quality, I was just burning out really frequently, and I felt like I needed a deload, or I felt like I needed a week off, like every 4 weeks, which is not how things are meant to work at all, right? So you want to keep this constant cycle of consistent high quality sessions by ensuring that you get enough recovery throughout the week. Okay, so the first thing you can do in order to optimize your recovery is obviously have enough days off the gym, right? People don't consider this. The amount of time they spend off the gym is just as important as they are in the gym, right? And I'm not saying by this that you need to spend like 2 weeks off at a time, but I'm just saying you need to give yourself, I would say, 2 to 3 days at the absolute minimum in order to recover. If you're going to the gym 6, even 7 times a week, then that is way too much. And obviously you're thinking, isn't 5 times a week too much? In my personal opinion, with my personal experiences and my personal body and how my day-to-day life is, 5 days is personally too much for me at the moment. However, 5 days a week isn't too much for a lot of people, and it wasn't a lot for me in the past. All right, so that's why I'm not necessarily saying that you can still go to the gym 5 days a week. However, if you're going to the gym 6, even 7 times a week, and you're wanting to build muscle, you're wanting to gain weight, then I'll be honest with you, it's way too much. You're just going to burn yourself out. And another thing as well, when people enter a state of burnout and they do stuff when they're tired and they don't feel like it because of this burnout, they lose their motivation, they lose their enjoyment of actually doing the thing. And that is not what we want to do. In your position as a skinny man, trying to gain weight, trying to bulk, you want to enjoy the process, okay? So allowing yourself to recover sufficiently and giving yourself enough time is super important. So what I would highly suggest for you is, as I said just a minute ago, at the absolute minimum, have 2 to 3 days of recovery, rest days every single week, right? And obviously you can be doing other stuff. Just make sure that you're getting your nutrients in, so you're consuming enough protein. You're obviously still eating in the calorie surplus as you're a skinny guy trying to bulk. All of that stuff is super, super important. It's like, I've used this example in a few videos, right? But it's like diet to humans is like fuel to a car, right? If we don't give our car fuel or petrol when it's low on petrol, then it's going to be operating on a low energy. Um, it's going to be operating less efficiently, and before you know it, your tank's going to be dead, and and your car's going to be no longer working, right? And for our body, right, the protein, the carbohydrates, the fats, they give us the energy. You know, the protein and the carbohydrates and the fats, they help assist processes in our body. For example, there's a process called muscle protein synthesis, which is extremely important in muscle growth, rebuilding the muscle, recovering the muscle, etc., etc. I'm not going to go into the details of it. Carbohydrates is obviously really important for in simple terms, just restoring our energy stores, and our fat helps us keep our hormones in check, our hormones productions in check, which is really important for obviously consistent good gym sessions, right? So making sure you knuckle down on recovery is really important. Obviously, you've also got your spa aspect of it as well. If you guys have access to a spa, I would highly suggest you take advantage of it. So your sauna, your steam room, your cold shower, your cold plunge, your hot tub, whatever it is, if you have the opportunity and the fortune to have access to a spa, then please take advantage of it, because it helps so much. It's personally helped me so much, and I'm very grateful I've got access to these things, and it will help you a lot as well. So that's sort of really what I wanted to go over in this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope you guys have learnt something. If you are here still, then thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. And if you are, as a thank you, I would love it if I could invite you guys into my free community that I was talking about earlier. We've got 200 plus people in there. It's going to be the top link in the description. Basically, just helping them from start to finish, how to, gain weight, build muscle in the most efficient way. There's a workout program in there, and as a matter of fact, you can now book your, you can book a call with me in the community. We can get on a call, we can discuss your progress, we can discuss what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and most importantly, how we can turn your problems into solutions in order to keep progressing. So if that sounds like it ticks all your boxes, then it's going to be the top link in the description. I would absolutely love to see you in there. But if you want to stay around on the YouTube video, drop a little subscription, drop a like, and drop a cheeky comment if you found anything good in this video, anything bad. I'll most certainly read them. So without further ado, I will see you guys in the next video.